everybody, I'm Elise Mayfield and this is Smart Cookie. Do, 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 do. Play the actual theme music now. And today we will be making Millionaire Shortbread. Cha-ching! It's like a giant Twix bar the size of a jelly roll pan. Check it out! Woo! I'll tell you why it's called Millionaire Shortbread. It's because it's got lots of fancy ingredients and it sounds real fancy, but it's actually very simple to make. The traditional recipes include rice flour, which I think makes for a really good addition because it helps make the shortbread like extra crispy and crunchy and yummy and delicious. Super extra crispy and crunchy. So we've got a mix of AP flour and rice flour. If you're interested in the quantities of these things, read the recipe. Okay, great. Super simple. Shortbread is just like 4 ingredients. That's it. AP flour, rice flour, sugar, butter in the food processor, ready to go. And now sugar, and let's watch this butter flop in there. Nope, okay, cool. Nailed it! All right, butter, very easy. And then all you're gonna do is blend this up in your food processor. But I will forewarn you, this is gonna look really sandy and you're gonna be like, this cannot possibly be done. And it is. Almost, but not quite. Now I know this is done because I kind of felt it like starting to rumble. So that's how I know that it's ready to go, because it's literally ready to rumble. Now, you're gonna take your jelly roll pan. A note about jelly roll pans. Jelly roll pans are very specific measurements. This is a 15 by 10 pan. It's not the same as a cookie sheet. So like you gotta invest in a jelly roll pan. You're just gonna pour that in there. You know, if the blade ends up in there, just like take it out. You don't wanna hurt anyone. And then you're just gonna pat, pat, pat it in there. You're gonna pat, pat, pat it right into this little pan. Yes, you are. The heat of your hands and the butter helps this to come together. So I recommend not wearing gloves while you're doing this. All right, so we've made an even layer of shortbread. I've also preheated an oven to 350, and I should have told you that's actually the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And then this shortbread is going to go in there for 18 to 20 minutes, just until it gets kind of starts to get golden brown around the edges. I feel very Vanna White. Okay. Great, let's set a timer. I'm gonna figure this out. While that's baking, you're gonna start to make your caramel. And so I'm gonna go on this like real fancy induction top oven. That scares me because it's like from the future. Brown sugar, some butter, sweetened condensed milk, and corn syrup. The corn syrup is gonna help us with texture. Now you just pour everything in there. Oh, that sounded like a brick. Luxurious. Here, how's that butter? The butter pour was good. And finally, corn syrup. Delicious, high fructose corn syrup. So then if you weren't afraid of your induction top cook stove, but although I kind of am, someday we'll find it. Yep, that doesn't work. Just kick the cord, everything's fine. It's like the Fonz in here. So you press the button on here. Oh, it sings to you, okay. You've got your caramel on, and this actually goes for like a total of a half hour. And this is probably the most difficult part of this recipe because you have to stay on this pretty consistently. It is needy and clingy right now, and it needs your love and attention, okay? Here's the thing, guys, nobody's got a half hour to watch this cook right now, so we're just gonna go to TV Land Magic and pull a hot pot from underneath this kitchen island, okay? Look at that! Remarkable how that happened. All the butter has melted, all of our ingredients have dissolved. This is like a very kind of delicious looking caramel sauce. It is gonna be a little lighter in complexion than you might see with some other caramels that you make, but that's because it's already got the cream in there, but it should be like this. And you should be able to tell like when you run your hand through it, it should hold. Smart cookie fact of the day. Shortbread is one of the oldest recipes that we know of. I think the oldest recipe that they have ever found was from 1615 in a cookbook called English Housewife. It's literally spelled like H-U-S W-I-F-E, housewife. And there is a debate about whether or not Millionaire Shortbread is an Australian dessert or if it's an English dessert. So, big debate. If you happen to know the answer, please leave it in the comments. Australian dessert or English dessert? We don't know. You tell me. Do you hear it? It's time. Oh man. You'll know your shortbread is done when your edges start to look golden brown and delicious. You've got warm shortbread, you have warm caramel, and now you're gonna combine them. Ooh, luxurious. Ooh, I feel like a millionaire. Oh my goodness. Where is my butler? Rodney! Rodney, bring me the shortbread, please. Oh my goodness. Scrape every last bit of this because it's so good. You can make this one time and then gift it to like 10 people. And every single one of them will be like, thank you, that was so thoughtful. And you'll be like, sure. 8 other people got the exact same present. Whoops. And now this goes in the oven, not in the oven. Don't put it back in the oven. Put it in the fridge. This goes in the fridge for a half hour to chill and harden. And luckily, I've got one that is already ready to rumble. Look at that, it's already done. So that's been chilling in the fridge for a half hour. Like your Aunt Carol and her costume jewelry, it's tacky. So final step, chocolate. Okay, now you're gonna put this in your microwave that's, positioned in the most awkward place in your kitchen. I literally don't know how this works. What did you do? You don't even have to turn a knob. We're living in the future, everyone. I just have to press this button. Now you wait for a whole minute. Why is a minute so long? Oh, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Thank God, it's done. All right, now it's all melty, and I am going to pour this out over our chilled caramel. So the chocolate layer is gonna be pretty thin, which is why I am scraping every last little bit out of here. We're gonna spread this all out. Oh my gosh, look at that. Don't you feel fancy? You feel so fancy. My personal favorite touch is a little bit of salt. So I like my desserts a little sweet and savory, and this is definitely a very sweet dessert. So before my chocolate sets, I'm gonna sprinkle some maldon salt, which is a large flaky sea salt, over the top of my chocolate before it sets. And then we're gonna get kind of that like salted caramel flavor going on. Snow, Merry Christmas. Final step, this needs to chill for another 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Okay, so you can tell your chocolate has hardened. So we're just gonna start to cut this up. I usually start by cutting it in half, then I'm gonna cut each half in half, and then I'm gonna cut each of those in half, and then I'm gonna cut rows, and then I'm gonna cut the squares into triangles. Oh boy, here we go. Look at those even layers, yes! These super even layers. You've got the shortbread, caramel, chocolate, salt. This is clearly a tester piece, so I'm just gonna eat part of it. Double up, That's so good, that's so good. Super buttery, crunchy shortbread, like really rich. And then I have to say, the salt really brings it home for me, personally. So you may not have $1 million to give your favorite people, but you can give them Millionaire Shortbread and make them feel like $1 million bucks. So that is my hot take tip for you for this Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas from Smart Cookie! Yay!